Good evening, PLW Nation. It is Thursday night. It's 6:30, and this is our new show that we kind of been thinking about for, 2 seasons, we wanted to do. We're going to call it the PLW Nation. When everybody signs up as a subscriber, I say, welcome to the nation. So that's what this show is going to be about. It's going to be about recapping last week, predicting next week, talking about rumors and potential trades. I mean, this is season 6. We're going to have free agency for the first time. It's going to be juicy. The league has gotten better. The draft class this year looked really good in week 1. I can't say enough about picks 1 through 10, even down to my man Raul Salazar flashing the letter for the Bombers.
Yeah, really good defense out there.
So the first thing we're going to do is the little angel on my shoulder that I have when I'm in the announce booth. I'm kind of very politically correct. Well, that guy's not going to be here today. Think a little more edgy, a little more stuff that we're going to talk about. And if it might ruffle some feathers, but I'm okay with that because it's going to be. We're going to try and draw in more people to the nation.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. PLW Nation Thursdays. Kind of looking forward. I know you got a big write-up here.
Yeah, I feel like I did a term paper. It's like 1,000. It's like more than 1,000 words. I think it's 11 pages.
Yeah.
Kind of recapping all the games, and that's what I want to do. I'm going to do that. I'm going to post this to the website after we're done. I'm going to pick games every week, series every week, and I'm going to go against a guest picker. This week it's going to be the commish, Adam Tannick, and we're just going to kind of flow it out there, and then we're going to hopefully get some feedback from the nation and see what they want to talk about. Like I said, we got trade rumors already. I mean, I've already got some trade rumors happening to me. Free agency's coming, and then, some big bats that weren't here are going to be here.
Oh,
so
yeah,
it's a big week too. So first thing I want to jump into is these preseason power rankings. So we send it out to the ownership. We send it out to influential people in the league, right? We say, hey, give us your predictions. Total number of wins need to add up to 254? And tell us where you think guys are going to be. And then we do an average of the league experience. Right off the bat, did every owner fill it out? I don't think so. No. So right off the bat, we got 2 teams winning 40 games. The league is much more balanced. You would agree, right?
Oh, yeah.
So think of the ones in season 2. They won 79% of their games. That means they would barely get to the 43 wins. And how how dominant was that team?
Oh, that team was really dominant, yeah.
So Lightning winning 43 games in the preseason poll. Cajuns winning 41 games. Okay, two teams winning 40 games. Come on, Adam.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that had to do with, the commish back here thinking, I don't think the ones are going to have a team this year.
Yeah.
And if they have 0 wins, then, that's a lot of wins for everybody.
Correct.
Yeah, and so that's kind of where the 40s kind of came from. But we saw the ones are going to show up, and they look pretty good.
Yeah.
So right now, I think 1 through 10, I think anyone could be 10th. I think anyone could be number 1. As you see, last year's champions right now, 0-3.
Yeah. We'll get into that when we go through the recap. But then we go Vaders with 36 wins. Your Vipers at 29. That's kind of been my idea. The magic number is always 28 wins, 1 win over 500. That gets you in the playoffs.
Yep.
So then we go to the Pharaohs, the new guys, the upstarts. Hey, these guys rock and roll through the PCL, and then they dominated the play-in tournament.
They did. They whooped up on the Owls. They whooped up on the Warbirds. But, those teams aren't here anymore.
Yeah, those teams aren't here. They traded away in my opinion, their best player in the PCL, Gavin Mansell, but they added Championship Series MVP, Logan Christie, and he was the owner, so that's kind of a deal they had to do for Logan to be on the team. So I like where they were at. You got the Night Owls, revamped, whole new team. If you don't have a program, you don't even know who's on that team anymore.
I know.
And then we got the Bombers, 20 wins.
Yeah, so the Bombers, it's like, is Mateo going to even be there? Max has to work. No one's even been out here at all in any little draft tournaments, winter practices, and that's in the mind, I think, of all the owners when they were doing these rankings.
Yeah, and I can't say that I don't follow that because I haven't been out here for any of that either. Been out here for draft and preseason stuff and owner stuff, but no. My Legends at 8, that's kind of typical. Everybody underestimates us every season, so it's all good.
Well, they're all a year older.
Yeah.
They're just older now.
Right. And then we got the Snappers, like perennial, original 5, I like to call them, perennial championship contenders in the playoffs every year. but last year.
Yeah.
So the first time they missed the playoffs.
First time they missed the playoffs. Was that the first time they missed the finals? No, the year before was the first time.
Yep.
Vaders won. Yep.
And then we have the ONEs, the ones at the bottom with 6 wins predicted. That's if they don't show, yes. But if their attendance is anything and they play all 54 games, there's no chance they win 6 games.
Yep.
Like they win 15, 16, 17 games.
Well, now that we have a whole opening week, we can get some more kind of accurate predictions.
Yep. So I kind of went with my power rankings. This is what I sent to Tom Gannon. I said, this is what I think it is. This is where I believe it should be. I try to be unbiased. It doesn't mean I don't have some biases. Everybody has a little recency bias.
Yep.
I kept the champs at number 1. I don't think they got worse. I think they got better.
I do think they got better. I also thought they ran a little bit hot last season.
Yes.
I think some of their guys, they have a great team, and I think some of them even played, to the best of their ability. Will they be able to repeat that again this year and be ahead of the Lightning? That's where I had the Lightning a little bit ahead of the Cajuns, but I think it was really close.
Yeah, potato.
Exactly.
We're splitting hairs here. I have the Lightning second. I think that they stayed the course. They didn't lose any big bats. They added a couple of guys in the draft. I like what they did. They're going to go as far as Tyler Hallett, Bruce Huson, Jake Purdy take him. Justin Spurrier, he's going to miss some Sundays.
Okay.
Because he's got some bowling going on. But again, still, solid team, great team. Both of those teams live off pitching and defense.
I do have a question, Brad.
Yeah.
Bowling, wiffle ball.
Bowling,
wiffle ball. Let's go. What are you doing, Spurrier? Let's go.
I know exactly. Come on. Then I had the Vipers. I had your guys at 32. I like what you guys did in the draft. Again, attendance. And the reason for 32 is I think you guys are going to bop. Kenny McDowell is going to be just a threat to offensive MVP kite numbers. Justin Hicks, I thought for multiple seasons he's going to break the RBI record. He's been close. Mark Devano's a year better. Yourself, everybody's getting better, but you're missing the arm. You're missing one of the true 3-way all-stars in PLW history, one Tom Gannon.
Yeah, he pitched 101 innings for us last year, 130 innings the year before. He was the guy we kind of rode on the mound, and when he was on the mound, he was like all-star defense, and that's something we were already struggling with in the outfield. I'm hoping Landon can kind of help us there in the outfield.
Yeah, rookie draft pick Landon White is, once he gets back from injury, he's going to have the athletic ability for sure. Then I went with my legends. I thought we got better just because I wasn't going to have very many attendance issues. I mean, I know people are like, oh, this, that, and the other, but I'm going to have 80% of my roster 80% of the time.
Okay, so for me, when I was looking at the legends and putting you guys in the power rankings and talking to Trench, it's like, oh man, we're not going to have decal. I don't know who this Cade guy is. All this stuff. If you can have decal and Cade in that lineup, like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So, and then I went snappers. Again, I know Ryan Murphy's playing more softball. I saw him out there. He's taken the next step in that evolution of that portion of his life. And I know Taylor plays baseball on weekends. So I don't know how that impacts his schedule. So
Taylor doesn't miss games. Yep. He's one of those guys. He's at every game. If it's something in life, wiffle ball, this is it for Taylor. Yeah. He's gonna be here at all the games. Obviously what really impressed us with the Snappers when we saw him in the opening night is they got Mateo, basically, in the name of
Austin
Topol.
Austin Topol.
He gets up there and he has that same kind of strong stance, just like Mateo, and just a good, quick, smooth swing.
Yeah.
He has a high ceiling.
Yeah, high ceiling. I said I was very impressed. And we'll get with that, and when we get to the recap. I mean, I watched it firsthand, and they look great. Then I go Vaders.
Yep.
So Vaders are up and down. They kind of go if they're up, they're up. And our compatriot, Cody Reynolds said it best. They're going to get embarrassed some days, and they're going to embarrass you some days.
Yeah.
They roll. If they're up, they roll, and if they're down, they're not easy to beat, but they're more beatable.
Yeah. That's kind of been the case with the Vaders. They could have a big inning and just score 10 runs and just steamroll you, or they can just give you 5 runs because they make 3 errors in an inning.
And we kind of witnessed that.
Yeah.
In the recap, so we'll talk about that. I had the Night Owls next. My biggest thing is who's going to pitch after Levi. I know they picked up Holligan. I know that Bo pitches. I know Kiefer's going to be making a lot more
of games.
So that's huge for them. But does it translate?
And the other thing I see looking at the Owls, they have a lot of talent. I think they have 8 guys that are legit starting in any lineup. And my question is, how is Bo going to manage it?
Yeah.
And so this is going to be a true test. If Bo does really well, that might be someone manager of the year candidate. But he could also really just flop and they can end up in relegation again. So, how are you going to manage this kind of new guys, just thrown together?
Yeah, exactly. I kind of have that same thing, but I have a different situation. But I have the Bombers 8th. Again, that is 100% based on Max Mateo availability. I know that they work on weekends, and I mean the way they talk to me on the first series, hey, we're about 50-50, maybe 60-40, because Dad's watching the shop instead of them doing it, and that's Dad's only gonna put up with that for so long. So that's where I have them, and then I have the Pharaohs at 9.
Yeah,
I played against the Pharaohs in the PCL. I love their talent. I love their athleticism, but my question is outside of Logan Christie, who can pitch?
I really liked what I saw from Baxa.
Yes.
Is I saying that right?
Yes.
Baxa, Baxa.
Yeah, that's what I believe it is too.
Okay.
I mean, again, I'm not. If I butcher it, it's not on purpose.
Yeah. I saw him pitch a little bit. He's a good drop. He's going to be facing tougher hitters where, in PCL you can navigate through one good hitter, and PLW you got to navigate through 5 and in some cases 6 good hitters.
Yeah, for sure. And then last with the ones, and again, that was totally based on attendance because there could be a week where you have the Stein, the AK, the Goot, the Austin Bird Bull, and then you could have a week where you have none of those guys in the lineup.
Yep.
So that could be up and down. But I mean, what I lean on, and when it comes to the predictions, is that we will get half of these wrong. Look at last year's predictions.
Oh yeah.
So right off the bat, Cajuns were predicted to finish 7th, Lightning 5th.
Oh.
The Ones 2nd.
Oh.
The Snappers 1st.
Oh.
So we're way off, guys. We have no idea what's going to happen because we play with a plastic ball on a plastic bat on 110-foot field.
So let's back up there for a second. The first and second teams were Snappers 1st and 1 2nd.
Yep.
And they both ended up in relegation.
Yes. And
then 2 teams predicted for relegation in 1st and 2nd.
Yes.
Okay.
So that tells you what we know.
Yep.
We know nothing. I mean, so that's where I'm at with that. So the next step in this phase is we're going to recap week 1. This week is going to be week 1. We're going to start with the first series, pitted against on April Fool's Day. Happy anniversary, Mrs. Ogden. That's my wedding anniversary, so I got to throw that out to my better half. We saw the Pharaohs, who come in number 5.
Well, hold on. Did you proposed on April Fool's?
No, we got married on April
Fool's. Oh, you got
Day.
married on April Fool's. Okay,
yes.
you propose, that's not when you get married.
Yeah, right. No, as a bachelor, he would know. So the first series, the number 5 Pharaohs, again, I'm going number 5. I'm going with the power rankings that we published, not mine.
Okay.
Against the number 10 Ones.
Yep.
And they come in with a lot of fanfare. They come with a lot of hype, and well-deserved. They're athletic. They're young. And they added a guy who is a true three-way player.
Yep.
Logan Christie has established himself as an offensive presence. His pitching was great.
Yep.
And his defense, when healthy, he's been hurt a lot, it's Gold Glove caliber.
It is Gold caliber. I agree with that.
So I look, and he traded away Gavin. Who's going to step up, fill those on-base numbers, those power numbers? And right off the bat, they flex their muscle. They go with, I just kind of looked at it and I was like, the ones are retooled. You don't know who. You need a program to see who's going to be there. Is AK's running the show? This just in. Chin and Schmitty are still on the roster, so don't just count them out right off the bat. They're going to be dangerous when they get everybody here. But the first inning of the first game of the first series of the year, we have a PCL guy make a play that we talked about, Cody and I did, in the draft. Richard Parsons is a fielding machine in the outfield. And he just makes a great play. And it's like, okay, they get hyped up. They get out of the first inning, no runs. Spencer Barrett comes up, first pitch, bomb. And all of a sudden, it's raining ones. Dave Cabrera's throwing ones in the air. And it looks like, what's going on? And I'm like, well, it's still early. And you didn't have, Stein pitching. He pitches the second game. But then it's literally like, not so fast. Parker Trask comes up, boom, bomb in the second, ties it up. And then Riley Baxa, like you mentioned, settles down. And in my opinion, he looked like a number 1.
Yep.
He kept the ball down. He didn't walk out until he was 4 2/3 innings in. And he allowed for the Pharaohs to get guys on base, get a couple of errors, get guys on base, and then boom, Seth Barton, the bomber. 2 home runs in 1 inning, one's a grand slam, and the route is on.
Yep.
I can't even begin to think about how many runs they'll be able to score. The win was a little helpful that week, but if they get guys on base in front of those guys, the Pharaohs are going to score some runs.
They will.
And it was just like, okay, they were rolling, they were jumping, they were high-fiving, but the one thing I noticed in that game, just by watching, the ones didn't get down.
Yeah.
And they scratched across 2 in the 6th, and I'm like,
here they come.
Here they come. Here's a little, they said, oh, it's kind of like that Rocky thing. You see? You cut him. He's just a man. Like, we can beat him. And then they go to game 2. And then Trench hits the booth, and the mojo changes, and it's like, here come the ones. And it's like, okay, so Trench asked the question, are the ones really bad, or are the Pharaohs really good? What do we know? Well, the Pharaohs have never seen anyone like James Stein. That is he's a wiffle ball traveler. He's a wiffle ball player. You've played against him probably for a decade, if not longer. What do you think? What does James Stein bring to a game that maybe these guys have never seen before?
He kind of throws that pitch as a baseball player. It looks like it's just a pitch that's going to go and hit the dirt. And so you're reading it and you give up on it and it just stays low and hits the bottom pan.
Yeah.
And it just freezes you. And so he's just able to freeze guys who haven't seen that pitch before.
Yep. Yeah, I noticed that too. It was pretty nasty. Like he was really good. And then Logan Christie calls his own number. I can't argue with that. Logan Christie he has to be the man for the Pharaohs. He has to carry. He's going to have to pitch 100 innings for him. That's my opinion. Him and Baxa need to split up those innings 75, 80 apiece and be effective. And it's the same thing happens. They get a couple of fielders' choices, and then Baxa makes an error, and then they get another run across, and it's like the steam starts to roll here. They get the ones get fired up a little bit, and it's like they go into the 3rd inning, and it's still 1-1. It's like, here we come. The Pharaohs go. They drop a 5 spot in that inning without a home run. They didn't even hit an extra base hit. The Pharaohs basically gave them, and I think that is the Achilles heel that I saw in the PCL for the Pharaohs is that the balls come harder. You can't give extra outs.
Right.
You can't make a throwing error. You have to know the rules. And I saw that they didn't know the rules about throwing to 3rd, keep that runner.
And I think a few teams are kind of figuring that out right now.
Yeah. So at the end of 3, it's 7-1, and the ones are rolling. And it's like we go, okay, the ones add 2 more. Tyler Pete hits a home run. And then James Stein, masterful, 6 innings, scatters 4 hits, gives up only a couple of runs. And it's like, how are the Pharaohs going to rebound? And then Josh Bosnos comes running in. And he's another guy who I like. Power for days. He should be 3-4 in that lineup. First pitch he sees, boom, home run. First swing, home run. And it's like, is that the precursor that we had in the first game where they scratched? And it's like, what happens here? What happens here? What are we going to do? And it's like, nope. Stein shuts the door with that nasty. I don't know what it is, James. You have to tell us what it is. It looks like that ball stops halfway, and those guys were swinging way out in front of it. And it's like, he's got you.
Yeah, does he throw a finger ball?
I don't know.
That's what it sounds like. That's the Bugs Bunny kind of change. Leday has that. Tom will throw it in there.
Yeah. So we have what we all love. How many rubber matches do we have in PLW?
It seems like they're all rubber matches.
They're all rubber matches. So the Pharaohs go with their guy, Parker Trask, who was the best pitcher in the PCL minor leagues. But again, kind of pitching repertoire, different class of competition. And AK puts himself on the bump, different kind of pitching motion. These guys have never seen a submarine guy with that much motion. And he doesn't have to pitch a lot. He's got to get 3 innings because they're going right back to Stein. And it's like, okay, the Pharaohs jump on him early. Bosnos hits a 3-run bomb in the first, and you're thinking, okay, here we go again. It's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. And it's not. They get a run in the first, the second, the third, the fourth. Like, they scored runs in a bunch of innings, and it's like they kind of just keep getting runs. They keep getting runs, and then Logan Christie answers the bell, and he goes, boom, he hits his 2-run bomb, and all of a sudden, we're tied at 5, and this game is like, okay, who's going to win this game? Is it going to be the upstart guys? Are they going to find it? Or is it the veterans that are going to go, we've been through this war before. We have the better they have the better player that night. James Stein was the better player on the mound. He could control the game that night. So that's where I was, and it's like, okay, the ones get out of a bases loaded jam because Goot gets that last out, and then at the bottom they go to extras. They had that man at second. Goot gets him out of the inning, gets a little pumped. Goot never gets pumped.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, they get a walk. Then literally James Stein comes up, bottom of the inning with a man at second base, hits a little flare to right. Ones are celebrating. They win the series 6-5, and all of a sudden, the Ones aren't the worst team in the league, and the Pharaohs are terrible. Like, I don't believe any of that.
Yeah.
Both teams is still too early to tell, but that's PLW in a nutshell.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyone can beat anyone any given Sunday.
Yeah, and so player of that game and that series, I had James Stein.
Yeah, definitely James Stein. He kind of carried the Ones there. I mean, Barrick had a great series, hitting 3 home runs, kind of the spark plug that the Ones needed, but they don't win the series without Stein.
Yeah, Stein hits 462, 6 for 13, 4 RBIs, including the game winner in the third game and extra innings. 1-0, 267 ERA with the wind blowing out against that powerful team, so that was great. 9 innings, and Stein 15 Ks. He only had 1 walk.
Only 1 walk, 15 Ks, 15-1.
Yeah, would you take that?
Oh, yeah, I'll take that. I tried to take that. They don't want to trade him now.
Yeah, I can understand it. So we go into the next series, and the next series is the New Look Night Owls against the Bombers, who nobody thought was going to have anything going.
Right.
This is 6 versus 7. So the theme is, for this whole week, the lower seeded team in the power rankings won every series.
Oh.
So think about that. We don't know anything, folks.
Okay.
I'm just letting you know. So this one is a family affair. The Bombers are Fernandez loaded and Fernandez friends, right? TB52, guy down in the booth, underneath the producer, against basically a whole new roster. Levi and the Miracles. We don't know who they are, but Alex Silva looked good.
Jake Silva, yeah.
Jake Silva. I'm sorry, Jake Silva. Jake Silva looked good. Malik Ogborn looked good.
Yeah, a couple home runs. Yeah.
9-fingered Andrew Miller looked good.
Yeah, even
Levi Lawrence looked good.
Yep.
So they looked good. Kiefer McClendon.
Yep.
Maybe not on the mound, but his presence, they're just
and Alec Holligan.
Holligan as well. They stand on the infield. When you play them, I want you to think about it. They are so big and long. It looks like there's no place to hit the ball in the infield. Bo Evans is a tall guy. Holligan's a big guy. Kiefer's a big guy. Jake Silva's a big guy. Looks like there's literally no place to hit the ball. It's an imposing thing, and I was like, I'm pretty impressed with that. Game 1, they go to the ace, Levi Lawrence. I've tried to get Levi for 2 seasons and have been unsuccessful, and he shows why. He's probably one of the top 3 pitchers in the league, in my opinion. And Bauer's run a little late. It was probably supposed to be Game 1 starter, but instead the Bombers go to the knuckleballer, Kenny Santee 2 or Kenny Santee 1, whichever you prefer. And this game looks pretty good until the 3rd inning, where it's a Mateo Fernandez sighting. And what happens when you throw a Mateo, any pitch that hits the strike zone?
Yep, gone.
Yeah, they're not called the singles, folks. They're called the bombers. He hits a bomb. Levi gets through 4 2/3, keeps him in the game, but not a whole lot going on there. They get a couple of innings late with some key hits here, and the Bombers basically hold on to win that first game 3-2, and you're like, okay, this is what we kind of expected. I thought there'd be way more offense. What about you?
Some more offense, yeah. The wind was blowing out a little bit, not like crazy, but yeah, I thought there'd be more offense in a 3-2 game with those kind of lineups.
Yeah, especially with those lineups. I mean, key missing Hollis Hale, but Hollis Hale, second game comes walking in, and it's like, boom, it's here we go. And then so game 2, Max Fernandez takes on former Warbird. We won't say first pick. First pick in the Warbird draft is what we'll call it.
Yeah.
I didn't. If he had got to me at 3, I wouldn't have Cade. I would have taken Alex Holligan. Like, so he was high on my list as well. And the Owls get out early on him, and they score on a McClendon single up the middle, and then Hollis Hale hits him with the Euro step. Hollis Hale first hits a home run in one of his first at bats, and the Bombers kind of flex their muscle a little bit in this game. And it's like, they get ahead, and then the Night Owls would come back and answer. Malik Ogburn hits a bomb.
Mm-hmm.
He looked great. And the Night Owls have a big lead. It's 8-2 after 3.5 innings. And I don't remember the whole game. I kind of wrote it down. It's like, but they get Levi to walk out, and then they go to the next guy. And it's like Alex gets a 2-run single, and then Mateo gets a single, and then Kenny, rounds out the scoring when he gets a 2-out, 2-run double. And all of a sudden, it's 8-8, and now...
Yeah. I remember that inning. I was sitting there watching, and it was like, 8-2. I was like, oh, this game looks like it's out of hand. And, it's getting a little interesting. And then, the one inning, half inning, they tied it up.
Yeah, they tie it up. And it's like, we go to extras again in the second series of the night, and it's like, they start with a runner on second, and that's kind of like we're doing that because we don't have lights. So, I like
Where are we at on time right here? It says...
let's see.
Did I say 7:05?
Yeah, we at 7:05.
This is very playable right now.
Yeah, so 7:05 would be playable. TB52, reigning MVP, he comes in the extras, and that, I don't know if it's a Stevenson type screwball, but it's nasty. He comes in and he mows him down, and it's like, what are they going to do? They get the Owls, so we go to the bottom of the 7th. The Owls get 2 quick outs, and then Hollis works a walk, and then the Owls go to Malik Ogburn, and literally the first, not a good spot for Malik. He hasn't pitched yet. He's been out here pitching a lot, but you're going to pitch, and it's like, what are you going to do? And Alex Fernandez hits a 3-run walk-off home run, and it's like, boom, it's over. And it's like, they didn't really do anything wrong.
Right.
I think they just got out-slugged by a team that's going to beat you with slugging.
Yeah, that's how that team wins.
Yeah, and it's like they go up 2-0 in the series, and now it's like the Owls showed something they haven't shown in a while. They showed some fight. Game 3, they showed some fight. They had to face Bauer. They're looking for the sweep. You put Trevor Bauer on the bump, you're looking for a sweep, right? I mean, that's what you got to be looking for. And then the Owls go to Kiefer, and Kiefer doesn't last very long. They start off with another bomb. Hollis Hale hits another bomb, hits him with the Euro. And it's like, oh, here we go again. Here we go again. And it's like, this time, the Bombers have a lead after 5 innings. And then here come the Night Owls. They kind of scratch across the one. And then Levi hits a 2-1 pitch for a grand slam in the inning.
No, I remember that. I was standing right over here. It was a pitch that was a little bit up and in on his hands, and he kind of let that barrel hang back and kind of hit it to left center field, and he got excited.
Yeah. So he hit 2 home runs in the inning, and it was like, well, Levi Lawrence hasn't had 2 home runs in the inning. Lefties have a hard time in this field, and he did not. And then all of a sudden, you're like, oh, wow, the Owls, hold on. Jake Silva comes in, gets a save, comes in, makes an appearance.
Yeah, he threw pretty well.
And he had to. Bo was gone. Everybody else had walked out, and they went to the rookie, and he came through. Shining moment there. Bombers take the series. Mateo is the player of that series, and I don't think it's really a hard thing. He hit 583, 7 hits, 4 home runs. He slugged 166, and his OPS was 233. Like, that's ridiculous. So that gets us through Saturday, and then we go to Sunday.
Yep.
Sunday, your Sand Vipers.
Or Saturday night.
Oh, Saturday night.
Saturday night, yeah.
Saturday night. Late, it's late Saturday night. Okay, late Saturday night. You guys get the Vaders Saturday night. Not really a rivalry, so to speak, but 2 teams that are playoff hungry, playoff capable. This is the 4 and the 3, little precursor. Who wins the series? The lowest seed won every single series in opening week. I like the Vaders went with Kyle Eder in game 1 against yourself. You called your own number. I kind of like that because you don't walk out if you don't have to.
Well, a lot of that decision was based on Hicks leaving.
Okay.
And so right now I'm our backup shortstop. And so originally I had AJ slotted to start game 1. And when I realized Hicks was only going to be able to play that first game, then I thought, well, let me pitch so at least Hicks can play short and then I can cover short the rest of the way.
Yep. And this game was kind of, it started off like it was going to be okay, but then it wasn't. Like this is a classic Sand Viper way to go. A couple of miscues by the Vaders, and your team, you can't do that against Sand Vipers. You guys don't make a lot of errors, but you seem to capitalize on every mistake.
Yeah, when we see something like that happens in the field, it kind of takes pressure off you in a lineup, and you can just kind of relax and let the bat fly. And it also puts pressure on you as a pitcher and defense. Like if your guys are making errors, you can't sit there and walk guys.
Yeah.
So you get some fatter pitches.
Yeah. So you guys literally get the fireworks going. McDowell hits a grand slam, and boom, boom, boom. It's 8-3. You guys are up big, and you guys go to the next inning, and it's like Billy walks out, or they get rid of Billy. They bring in Scott Burley. Scott Burley had a great PCL tournament, series before, getting 10 strikeouts in a game, but this is not the PCL. I am proof of that. I can't hit up here, but I can hit down there. And then Hicks hits a 2-run homer. McDowell hits another one. It's 13-3. Mercy rule, ball game. Have a good day. Going on to game 2. Game 2, again, it's one of those things where we've seen that every team here can bounce back and anybody can beat anybody. You guys are a firm believer in that. Like, you guys never say we're out. Like, it doesn't matter if you get beat 10 runs in the first 2 games. I'm going to steal one.
Yep.
This is what kind of happens here. You guys go with the lefty, and Santijuan starts. So they go to the Cy Young Award winner. You guys go to the lefty that they maybe haven't seen all year. Keegan's got kind of a unique delivery for a lefty. Kind of comes from that way outside, from that first base side.
Yeah, he throws some balls that kind of look hot. I see hitters are uncomfortable. He still he's still trying to find a pitch he can get for a strike when he kind of falls behind. And we just throw him out there. He wasn't a pitcher. He's kind of learning.
Yeah. Well, he's learning on the fly because you got to have to.
Yep.
And it's really one of those things where the Vaders get on the board early with a solo home run to left. As Santijuan does it himself. And there's a little thunder in that lineup for them. And then it's just kind of like, okay, the middle innings, kind of nothing happens. You get a solo from Petrovsky and tie it back up. And then Keegan hits another solo off of Roundy, who looked good, by the way.
Yep.
And it's like you guys kind of go back and forth. It seesaws all the way back and forth. McDowell hits another monster home run that is getting ridiculous with him. I don't want to pitch to him or see him ever. So what days can he show up? And then it's the 2-run double by Alec Hutt, who didn't have a lot of. He had a lot of good at bats, not a lot of good results.
Yeah.
And he gets them the lead there, and it's like, okay, we go to the top of the 6th. You got a 2-out double by Keegan. But then Roundy comes in, closes the door. Looks like the Tanner Roundy of pre-injury.
Yeah, when he got Rookie of the Year, what I saw different from him here, he learned how to just throw a little cutter, something that's not like breaking too big, and he's able to like control that better and throw strikes.
Yep. And then game 3, the Vaders, again, not a lot of attendance for the Vaders. They don't have a lot of pitching going on. Jason Walker on the bump. And you guys go to A.J. Petrovsky, who seemed to find it last season, and he's got a nice 12-6. He kind of leans on that pitch a lot and keeps the ball down.
Yep, keeps it down. Yep.
And this one is a classic Vader Viper slugfest. You guys put it on display like it was. I thought it was going to be the team that batted last, but as the case is here at the castle, it's not really a team that bats last. It's the team that hit first.
Yeah,
because they can put the pressure on.
You can get to 15 too.
Yeah, it was a slugfest. I don't know if the better team won, but the better team that night won. 11-9. You guys take the series, and you guys get that quick 1-game lead on a team that you're going to battle for all year, and that head-to-head is a tiebreaker for us.
It is.
So big win for you guys. You guys got to be happy about that. I had Kenny McDowell as the MVP of the series. He didn't pitch.
Absolutely. He didn't pitch, but like he was 10 RBIs. Like,
yeah, that's ridiculous. 10 RBIs, a 213 OPS. 213 OPS, and the Thunder in the middle of the lineup. No Hicks, so you guys kind of had to lean on a new guy, and that was awesome.
Yeah.
And then we go to Sunday, and this is going to be a lot quicker because there were 5 shutouts.
Oh yeah,
on Sunday.
Well, the win was a little bit different, Brad.
Win was a little bit different, but my God, 5 shutouts.
How many? Yeah. Well, first series.
first series. My Legends against the Snappers. We are a little bit different on attendance, but you know what? We're going to roll out with what we got, and we face the MVP, 3-time MVP, TB7. I roll out with my ace, Casey Taravella. This game, we found out early and often that the wind wall was real because they had some guys that punished some balls, and so did we to left, and there's nothing was going out. Not in our series anyway.
Yep. There wasn't a single home run.
No, not a single home run, and we only had a couple of extra base hits, and they were all guys that were smart going to the right side.
Yep.
Taylor being smart going to the right side.
Briner went to the right side a few times.
Went to the right side at a good time. We sneak out a game all on unearned runs. Wilson was playing the field a little early. Got a couple balls underneath him. A couple of throwing errors by Chad Tomolo, and the Legends did what Legends do. We put the ball in play and make you pressure on you, make the play, and then we get a clutch single down the line from Ethan Wigfield. We steal a game 3-2. Very excited about stealing that game because we only scored 3 runs, folks, in a 3-game series, and we won a game. I'm very excited.
Oh, yeah. And that's how the Snappers do it. I mean, history, I think our biggest rival, you know, it may change this year, but it's always kind of been the Snappers. We would leave the series with the Snappers, and it's like you add up all the runs, and we had a +7 run differential against them, but we lost the series.
Yeah.
You know, they'll win the 1-run games.
Yeah.
So it's good to see that from you guys.
Yeah, we steal one. We stole 3 run games from them in a thing that will never happen again. We beat them. What was it? 2-1, 4-3, and 6-5.
Oh.
So that was one of those weird ones. Game 2, I go to JT Church, who has emerged as I think a really good pitcher.
He is a really good. I mean, you look at the second half numbers. Nobody looks at that, and I see his second half numbers, and it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
He just came out of nowhere.
Yeah. He looked good, and then we're going against the veteran Shane Weber. Shane was kind of bit by the home run bug, but Sunday you didn't have to worry about that because you could hit it from second base sometimes, and nothing was going out, folks. They looked really good. Church pitches a complete game and gets the loss. Weber pitches really well, and it's literally the rookies that do the damage. Austin Topol played well. Adam Kennedy gets a RBI. So they
a couple hits he had. Yeah.
And TB Smith, you know, they win 2-0, and I don't know if the game was that close. They kind of dominated us the whole game. We only had 3 hits, and they looked really good.
What was Weber throwing?
Meat.
He
threw it over, we hit it, and they made great plays. Austin Topol, we talked about it earlier in the intro. He can play some defense, and Adam Kennedy is no slouch in left.
Yeah, they're both really good defense, yeah.
So their defense was great, GK at third, so it looked really good. And then we go to the last game. I go to Trenchy. And then they go to Jonathan Wilson. Do we get Jonathan Wilson of season 5? Or do you get Jonathan Wilson of season 4?
Right.
Two completely different pitchers. One guy got lit up like a Christmas tree, and one was a top 3 in ERA.
Yep.
Well, we got season 4. Wilson. He looked really good. Again, they put up runs that time. They beat us 4-0 that time. Again, we didn't have a lot of base runners. They capitalized on our mistakes. I went back and watched the series. Casey misses a dive. You know, I mean, we don't do this. We missed something here. And they made the routines where we didn't. And they beat us, and they deserved to beat us 4-0 in that last game. This one, pretty easy. Taylor Briner was the MVP of that one. 5 for 12 with 3 RBIs when you only have, you know, so many games. And then he goes 1-0 with, he was 0-1. He got the loss. We beat him. We beat him.
Yeah, with the 3-2.
Yeah, but he has a 0 ERA with a save, and it was his bat that carried them, you know, in the clutch situations. I kind of like that one. And then, you know, you got the series that everybody was talking about.
Yep, championship, rematch.
And that was totally by chance, guys. We kind of draft our schedule, so we don't know who we're playing, and the Cajuns got to pick first.
Yep.
And I think the Lightning picked second. I'm not 100% sure.
I think the Lightning picked third. I think we picked second.
Yeah, because it's based on volunteers, so that's how we kind of get to where we go. And whether Chad did it on purpose or it was pure happenstance.
I think they mainly just look at the days and times, you know, and they're probably not even looking at the other teams because in there it's just letters. You're just seeing letters. You don't even know who the opponent is.
Yeah, so we talked about the 5 shutouts on Sunday. Well, we just saw 2 of them. This one, again, I flipped the rankings on this one because I thought the Cajuns should be number 1. Just my opinion. It's nothing else. But in this one, the Lightning win. They do a sweep. They do it in not dominant fashion because the winds kind of were
swirly a little bit, but not as much. I think it was more of a right field foul pole to left field foul pole.
Yes, and the first game goes 8 innings, and it's a beautiful masterpiece by Jake Purdy, who, even with the new pitching rule, I think he's fine. I think he's okay. He just looked exceptionally nasty. And when the wind's blowing in like that, the ball's not going anywhere. I mean, Devlin Daniel hit a couple in that series.
Oh, yeah.
That should have been over the mound, and they didn't even get to left field anything.
I like it when the cameraman zooms in on Devlin's face because he doesn't hide disappointment or emotion. And he thought he had one, and he didn't have it. Someone just killed his puppy.
Yeah. So we get to the 8th, and Roosh is on the mound. 20-game winner. Didn't think that was ever going to happen again. But, different pitching rules when Brandon did it. Then we had that. But the automatic runner at second base, he already had a walk. He has to pitch to Spurrier, and Spurrier has been hitting the cover off the ball, and he does it there. He hits a 2-run homer. They walk it off, and it's like that's kind of, I mean, it wasn't sealing the deal, but that's kind of how I expected that series to go. Two teams built on pitching and defense. I expected to be more runs, but it didn't surprise me with the 2-0.
Yeah. I mean, the Cajuns rely on their pitching. I think the last season, Leday and Roosh were both 1 and 2 in ERA, and that won them the championship.
Yeah.
Take us a 5-second break here. We can look and see. This is very playable, Brad.
Yeah, I think
you're going to see it pretty well.
Yep.
You're not going to see it well in 10 minutes probably. But we're here at 7:20.
So we can play to about, I'd say 7:15 is probably, you could start an inning at 7:10.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to be figuring that out. Then game 2. Game 2, all the scoring happens in the first inning, 1 swing.
Yep.
Bruce the Juice Huson hits a bullet that never gets into the wind.
It was just so low.
It was so low. Boom, it's there. And it's over. And it's like, okay, so what happens? Roosh looks like Ryan Roosh. And, Tyler Hallett looks like Tyler Hallett. They kind of bring in Purdy. He pitched 8 innings, so he has 1 left. I like this managerial move by Chad. I don't like a lot of his moves, but this move made sense.
1-0 game, last inning, save situation.
Bring in your ace.
Yep.
Bring in the guy who, we think is a Cy Young candidate every year, and he is a strikeout pitcher. So he doesn't have to deal with all the stuff, whatever, and he looks masterful, gets out of that, and they take a 2-0 lead.
Yep.
And I thought they looked really good. And then, the last game, this one kind of got out of hand, and I don't know.
This is where I lost all my wiffle ball points.
So, Leday goes to Giordano instead of Runnels. Runnels, if you guys missed it, it's been clipped. It's on the website. Go look. Think Derek Jeter playoffs. I'm not a Yankee fan. I don't know when, but when he dives into the stands, Cody Reynolds does a Superman dive down the left field line and almost makes a great catch. And I know that he hurt his foot. Cody will have to tell us in the chat if he's still able to walk. But that's the kind of effort that these guys are giving week in and week out. And guys, this is just kind of, for all you construction guys out there, it's just packed down type 2 with a little bit of padding and ready to rock and roll, and we're good to go. Yeah, we might have to turn on some lights here. It's right here. We'll hit the light. Maybe not. Maybe I won't get a light. There we go. So they go to Giordano. He pitched well, but then he's going up against Tyler Hallett. And I think Tyler is an MVP type candidate. This one, when I say gets away, it gets away pretty quickly. They roll into it. They only play 4 innings, 4 innings, and it's a 10-0 game. And it was like they walked out, they drew walks. If Chad's given himself an at-bat, the series is over.
Yeah.
One way or the other, the series is over.
Yeah.
Chad got a at-bat. We kind of all got a chuckle as Cody goes 65 right at the nugget.
Oh, man.
So
seeing it from up here, I thought it was behind him. Watching the replay, it came right at his head and it curved. Oh, man.
Gave everybody a chuckle. Little rivalry there. I think it's more management level than it is on the field. I think most guys on the field are pretty, hey, we're all here to have a good time.
Yeah. I think that stems back to Chad, drafting him and then trading him mid-game.
Yeah,
and Cody's like, what's going on here? The reason Chad did that is because of the amount of games played.
Yeah.
And there was X amount of games minus 1 he could go and play. So he could play 1 game with the Lightning. The trade happens and he can play all the rest.
Yeah.
So if he traded him before that, then Cody would have had 1 less game played.
Okay.
So he did a favor for Cody there.
I don't think Cody took it that way, but
no, he didn't. As we saw on Sunday.
Yeah. Hey, they get to play 3 more times, guys. So my player of the series, Jake Purdy.
Jake Purdy, absolutely.
He hit 455. He didn't have any RBIs, but he went 1-0. He pitched all 9 innings.
Yep, got the save.
Had 13 strikeouts. His whip was .56.
Oh, that's unheard of.
That's the kind of stuff that, you do that 3 weeks. You don't have to do it 18. You do that 3-4 weeks. You're talking about an ERA that's going to be in the low 2s. I don't know if we're going to have those stats with this wind blowing out.
Yeah. The big difference this season, and I do think there's going to be a new home run champion this season, and ERAs might be the highest ever. Is, last season we went into the winter at the end. This season we don't get it. It's all summer.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. So we're going to kind of talk to the chat a little bit, see if looks like we got Cody Reynolds in the chat. Who else do we got? Steve Nook. Cody's clip, if you want to display it. Yeah, hit that clip real quick. We'll show that real quick. That's a great clip of Cody Reynolds laying it all out on the line.
Oh, man. Here it is.
Such a good
Giordano at the plate.
Oh, no, this isn't the clip. That's not the clip. Oh, is this when he...
Yeah, I think it's about to happen on this pitch. Wow, in the top of the first, game 3. Oh, no.
No, that's the wrong one. You want the one where he's diving in the outfield. It's a different clip. Hold on. What do we got? Come on. I know we got that
Game
clip.
1, 6th inning.
Yeah, it's actually on the website. You can clip it real quick. I mean, it's like game 1, 6th inning, and it's literally on the website. And I forget who's pitching. I want to say it's Lede is pitching.
Okay, Lede's pitching. Okay, and someone maybe got a slider way in on the hands, and they just kind of popped it up into left field, and the wind kind of took it into foul territory and took Cody with it.
This is it right here.
Oh, Bruce is up there.
Bruce is up. Okay. Watch this.
There goes Cody, and just no regard for your body.
Wow, that's so great, Cody. That's so great. So Cody's
do that again.
Yeah, hit it one more time.
You can see, if you watch in the dugout window, you can see him right there. Now watch that dugout window, and there he is.
Wow.
Right here. Oh, man, that's a good ways away from the field already.
Yeah. I mean, that's
full dive, full extension.
Full extension, and everybody's over there running because no matter what happens between the lines, we're all friends outside of the lines. Yep. And that's the beauty of PLW, like everybody's over there. And
the part that sucks is he caught the ball, but it's not an out because he was out of play.
He's out of play.
But he didn't catch it. He
didn't catch it. But, yeah. So, I mean, God, it was great. So now we're going to go to the next stage. It's me predicting.
All right, so here it says Brad's prediction. Okay.
Yeah, Brad's prediction. So we're going to go in order of series. So the first series that we have, so that's the predictions. That's my predictions of the power rankings. We kind of went over that. Mine were a little different. We'll see how I pan out. I was just as bad as we were in season 5. I was terrible in season 5. So we'll see if we get a little better. But now we're going to go to the weekly predictions. So we're going to start with the first game of the weekend.
Okay, and that's at 10 a.m.
That's at 10 a.m.
on Saturday. Yeah. Who do we got? It says the Ones versus the Owls.
Yeah, Ones versus Owls. Oh, hold on. There we go. Ones versus Owls.
My first question is Stein going to be there?
No guarantee Stein's going to come. So I took everything based on what my knowledge was.
Okay.
And if I had any questions, it's what your lineup was in week 1. So that's just the only assumption we can make until we get a little further along in the season.
Absolutely.
I like the Owls here.
Okay.
There's no guarantee
Why?
There's no guarantee Stein's going to be there. There's no guarantee that you're going to have that your lineup won't consist of AK leading off, and then Bull's going to be pitching, Goot's going to be pitching. You're going to have Dave Cabrera maybe in the lineup because you only got, you have Tyler Pete.
Dave Cabrera gets on base.
Dave Cabrera.
And PCL.
Yes, in PCL. But the Owls are going to have the same lineup. They're going to have the same guys out there. I think the Ones can steal a game.
Okay.
But the Winds are going to be blowing out pretty good on Saturday. And
the question is, do the Ones have enough pitching to, stop 6 innings of offense or enough so they can score more runs? And, I don't know.
My hope is yes, but my reality is no.
So you were talking about, You're going to be a little more brutal and unfiltered. I might be unfiltered here.
Go ahead, be unfiltered. Absolutely, let's do it.
Okay, if the ones don't have Stein on Saturday, they're getting swept by the Owls, who are loaded up with talent, and Levi Lawrence is just going to have a monster day. I think AK is going to have a big series.
Yep.
I think when this all weekend is over, AK is going to be top 3 in batting average. But I think it's not going to be enough without Stein unless Goot steps up. Unless AK keeps that sidearm pitch down, because when he tends to get up with that, and that's going to fly out of here.
Yeah.
And I just don't see, them going to have enough pitching to be able to beat.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
To win a single game.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. It's going to be that they're going to win a game. It's going to be because they bat last, they steal something. The Owls fold like they did, where they make too many errors. But
their defense is good now.
Their defense is good
now.
Their defense is good. Second series. So do you agree? Are you agreeing with me that you think that we're going to have an agreement here that the Owls are taking the series? We're saying at least 2 wins.
Yeah, I'm saying they're gonna sweep unless Stein shows up. Yeah.
Okay, so we agree.
We agree there. Yeah.
Second series.
All right.
Will be my favorite series. I'll be in the booth for series 1.
Okay.
Because I'm playing PCL before, but I'll be in the booth. Second series, I'll be watching the Vaders against the Pharaohs. And there is an Ethan Ibarra sighting. So I like the Vaders here. There's just way too much offense. Billy Santiwan, Tanner Roundy looking like Tanner Roundy of season 4, not season 5.
He's looking really good.
And Kyle Eder won't pitch as bad as he pitched in week 1.
Yeah, Eder, I talked a little bit of Eder in between innings and stuff. It seems like, he was dealing with some stuff outside the field. I see him coming back this week and being mentally focused. I do think was he suspended a game?
I think he's missing 1 game.
Okay, so he'd still be able to get all his pitching in.
Yeah.
Ethan Ibarra's going to help pick up some of that.
Yes.
And I mean, I don't want to agree with you. I want to say the Pharaohs are going to win, but man, the Vaders just going to look really strong. I think Eder has something to prove. I think he's going to be a little more relaxed. He's going to play a good game, and I think he's going to pitch a gem.
Yeah.
I think the Pharaohs are going to have some explosive innings, and kind of show us what we're going to see this season. But I don't see them winning the series against the Vaders. The Vaders are too solid right now.
Too solid, and this is like I said, I believe I don't pick any sweeps. I don't think this could be a candidate for a sweep, because could be one of those series where the Vaders can get embarrassed. The Pharaohs can 100% throw up a 10 spot. But this could be one of those series where the Vaders roll and they embarrass them and they don't stop.
They could. Are you saying Vaders are going to sweep?
This is my one. I have 2 series where I target. Maybe there's a potential sweep. First one was the Owls ones, and the second one is this one. So I think both Saturdays with the wind blowing like it's supposed to blow.
Yeah, I think you look at the Pharaohs pitching and you say, okay, well they have Baxa and Logan, and who else after that? They have a lot of guys on their pitching staff, because they were on 2 different teams before they joined forces, that have like 80, 90, 100 innings pitched. They have more guys on that because they were on different teams at that time. Seth Barden has a lot of innings pitched. Baxa, of course.
Parker Trask,
a lot of innings.
Josh Bosnos.
And Bosnos, they have a lot of innings, a lot of experience. So if depending how it's managed, if one of them is struggling, they could make some switches and maybe see who's on. And that's why I don't think the Pharaohs are going to get swept. I think they're going to take one game at least.
Okay, well, this just in, Pharaohs, there's no series against the Regulators coming, so every series is going to be like this, guys. There's no facing me and the DCRs. That's not happening. Everything is going to be tough.
Yeah, I think they're excited to be here. They're looking for the challenge. I think they got humbled a little bit that first series. I think they stepped back. I think they're going to be a little more refocused, and then they'll figure it out. But I don't know if they're going to figure out to beat the Vaders 2 games.
Yeah. Third series, Sand Vipers, Lightning.
Oof.
So I don't think you guys are going to get shut out 3 times, but I do love this series. This one's a tough one for me. I could literally flip a coin and go either way. I'm going Lightning just because of the pitching aspect, and that's the only reason, because I think that they're going to keep your bats in check a little bit more than what your pitching will keep their bats in check.
Yeah, they do have strong bats. We're missing Keegan, so our lineup would be, I think, me, McDowell, Hicks, Tavano, Petrosky, Dean. We may even get Landon in at bat or 2 with one hand, just to kind of get him some experience.
Yep.
I'm not going to put him in any kind of pressure situation. Dean has hit very well for us in the past. We'll see how he looks in game 1 and kind of go from there. But yeah, the Lightning's pitching is a lot deeper. It's going to be a very tough series for us. The thing is, they want to beat us really bad, and we just don't really care. We're going to go out there and have fun.
Yeah.
So we may sweep.
Yeah.
Or we may get swept. I don't know.
Exactly. This is one of those where this could be whoever scores first.
It could be, yeah.
I think it's a race.
We've traditionally hit Purdy pretty well, and I think Purdy knows that. So, he's kind of due to run good against us.
Yes.
Spurrier, he tends to get a little hot here and there, maybe miss with that big slider. So he never really stays in the game very long against us, but I also think he knows that. And I think they really want to beat us. I think Spurrier's going to probably have a good game against us too.
Yeah, this is where I think Chad can outthink himself.
Oh, absolutely.
He'll make a move that maybe is not necessary. Hold off on. I don't want to get in a pressure situation. I don't want to use a whole inning for one out, and you guys do some damage that maybe you could have avoided by trying to win. I try to win the game I'm in. I don't worry about games 2 and 3 until you get to the games 2 and 3.
Yeah, you can get caught up in that as well. Win the game that's in front of you. The last thing I have to say about this series is without Keegan, we have me and Petrosky starting pitchers, so I have to go to someone who hasn't pitched yet this year. And it'll probably be McDowell in that third spot.
Yeah, I like Kenny McDowell.
Yeah.
Fourth series, you got my Legends against the champs.
Yep.
The Cajuns. We suck against the Cajuns. And it's always been like I had to play 2 years ago, and that was god-awful. You can clip it. I think I fell into the fence twice.
I do remember one pitch. It was way outside. You reached out for it and hit a bomb opposite field, hugged the foul pole. Because it was curving somehow, and it went over by the pond and the palm trees. I was like, that was a fun hit to see.
Yeah, but I'm going that they're going to have their entire roster again.
Yep. They're going to have Gavin now.
Gavin's going to be there. That changes their lineup. As much as I hate to say this, I'm going Cajuns. I think their pitching is really good. I don't think they're going to get shut out, but I will say this, Cajun Nation, everybody's here. You're not avoiding DC. You're not avoiding Garcia. Billy Osgood will be there. We will have our full complement. The only player we won't have, Mikey Garcia, who's a fly-in, and Cade Watkins. Happy birthday, Mr. Watkins.
I'm going to disagree with you here. I see.
Oh, we got a disagreement. I love it.
The Cajuns love to beat the Sand Vipers, and they beat us in the championship. They make us look pretty bad, probably worse than any other team, probably because I talk the most shit about the Cajuns. And they're going to clip this, and they're going to show it, and they're going to use it as fuel, right? But I see the Legends sweeping, and the Cajuns getting 0-6.
Wow.
I think the Legends are going to score some runs. I think they're going to have some explosive innings with that lineup. And I think as good as the Cajuns have been, they might only score one run.
Nah.
What's the wind like on Sunday?
It's blowing out the 20 miles an hour.
Oh, that's right.
So
talking to the Cajuns, they don't like it when the wind blows out.
Yeah, they want the wind because
they want the wind blowing in. Yeah,
pitching and defense, that's for sure.
Yeah. So I think the wind blowing out is going to give you guys a little bit of advantage, and you have your full guys there. You're going to be gritty, and I think the Cajuns are going to bring it. That's going to be my favorite series to watch.
Yeah.
I
can't wait. I'm excited about it. They've had our number for the last 3 seasons. We can't beat them no matter who we run out there. So,
now it's time.
And now it's time.
You're due, like the Lightning are due against us. That's why I'm worried. We're just going to go out there and have fun. Whatever happens, happens.
18 weeks is a long time, guys. 51 games is 51 more games. Last series, I think it's going to be probably the marquee series of the week. All these good series, the first 4.
Yep.
You're going to finish with Snappers, Bombers. Oof. Again, these are 2 original 5. They've been in the league since the beginning. Snappers have been around forever. You have 4 of our 5 league MVPs in this game.
Ooh, yep.
And they all have the same initials, TB5, TB7, and TB52.
Yep.
I'm making the assumption that Mateo's going to be here.
Yep.
Max is going to be here. Alex is going to be here.
And I have heard they're all going to be here.
So even with that said, and with Trevor Bauer on the lineup, and with a full thing of Hollis Hale, I like the Snappers.
I like the Bombers, Brad.
Oh, we got another disagreement. I love it. Why do you like the Bombers?
I like the Bombers because of, what's his name? He led the league in home runs the last 2 seasons, and he's tied right now in the league in home runs.
Yeah,
I think he's going to continue on a torrid pace. I think last week Bauer I don't think he's going to hit 147 again. I think Bauer's going to be Bauer again. He's been looking good. We've been out here practicing. I think those two combos are just going to crush it. I think they're going to be close games. I don't think there's going to be a sweep, but I think the Bombers take 2 or 3.
Mine is, so let's go to Trevor. Trevor, pull it on yourself. Are you going to hit 147 again?
No.
And there you have it.
I love it.
Started slow last season.
Yep.
Pretty much the same thing, same script. We're going to keep it going.
Awesome.
See if another poll comes up to see if I'm underrated.
Oh, yeah, right.
I think
that was a little turning point last season for me.
Yep. So, and the reason that I go Snappers is one reason.
Okay.
TB7. I think he's a man on a mission. I think missing the playoffs kind of not hurt his pride, but that's not what the Snappers are about. The Snappers figure out ways to win. He pitched great in the wind. He hits better in the wind. Their lineup is good. Those rookies, Topol and Kennedy, yes, they lost Ryan Murphy. His on-base percentage was unbelievable, and he's the only guy ever to get Taylor out of the number 1 spot.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah.
That's how good of a hitter he was. Austin Topol. We're not talking about these guys rookie of the year. These guys are legit PLW players. I like where they're at. That's where I'm going with the Snappers. I think the Snappers will find a way with the best player. They're only going to bat 6. They're not going to extend the line. They're going to bat the best 6, and they're going to put up some numbers that maybe, again, I think this is going to be double figures, double digits every game. You might have somebody score 40 runs in the series.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot there. I mean, you have Wilson and Shane who looked great last week, but now with the wind blowing out, is their stuff going to play the same? That's what I'm looking forward to seeing.
Yep. So the last, that's kind of where we start off at and where we go to. We kind of did the guest pick already, so now we're going to go to Player of the Week. I had a hard time with this.
It was close.
I mean,
but me and you both agree on it.
Yeah.
Yep.
My Player of the Week, Jake Purdy. Biggest series of the week. He shined the brightest in a game, pitched 8 innings. He got his full 9. So Chad managed him well.
Yep.
Got the full 9 out of him.
Wait, back up. What did you say?
Chad managed him well.
I don't hear that very often, and so it's good to hear. You did, Chad.
And you may never hear it again, but correctly, it was managed right. He got the full 9. He was effective the full 9. No earned runs, a .56 whip, gets a win and a save. And he hit pretty good, too. He hit I think he hit
455.
455. Yep. That's our Player of the Week. This has been the PLW Nation Thursday night recap. We're going to be on every Thursday night at 6:30. I'm going to basically recap what we just talked about. It's going to be on the website shortly. Feel free to hit us up in the comments. Let's hit a couple of things in the chat. See if we got somebody that has a question. We'll try and answer it. And then we're going to sign off. Let's see what we got here. One series too late. We got a Cody Runnels in the chat. We got the Phantom Opera. All right, we got more games going. Who else we got? Anybody else in the chat here? What do we got, like 8 guys watching? Let's see. Oh, let's see who we got. How many new teams this year? Is it Slamming Coins? Yeah, so I've seen Slamming Coins in the chat. Only one team is new.
One team's new, yeah.
One team's new. They won their way in, so we have a 4-team minor leagues this year. We call it the Challengers League. I play in the Challengers League on a team called the 86ers. We play before the first series each week. So every Saturday morning at 7 o'clock.
Yep.
Every Sunday morning at 7 o'clock.
And I believe they can watch that on YouTube if they want. And then I think sometimes, depending on how our staffing is, we may catch the end of a PCL game.
Yes.
Going forward. Right now, we just want to get what we have kind of solidified first.
Yep. So we're going to tighten this show up. We're going to try and limit it to about an hour and 10 minutes. I got kind of wordy. Me and Adam love to talk wiffle ball. This is what we live for. I want to thank the PLW Nation. Catch us next week, 6:30 on Thursday night. Hit the music.